We back. We back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Crescent City Connection, your new home for Louisiana sports, powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And on today's show, Saints, Falcons, enough said. And we'll get into a little bit of talk out of college football. They're doing some things today. As we're speaking right now, Tulane's playing. We will hit you up. Uptown. And of course, Tigers, South Alabama, later on tonight. And then we're going to swing on and talk some Pelicans basketball. We almost here, baby. Pelicans done made some moves. Brought a couple of people to training camp. Added some people to the staff. We're going to talk about it. So we're going to talk about that. Talk about all kinds of Louisiana sports going on in college. Give you the scoreboard currently going on right now. We're going to get into it. But we know where you're here. Ladies and gentlemen, Crescent City Connection, T5, that's me. Louisiana sports, we're going in on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Now, enjoy the musical. Play a little air guitar, baby. I know you're doing it. Go ahead on. Oh, welcome, my Crescent City Gulf Coast constituents. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crescent City Connection, hosted by me, T5, here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, your new home for Louisiana sports, ladies and gentlemen. And as we said preview, we're going to talk Saints, Falcons. You know the rivalry. You know why you're here, ladies and gentlemen, other than playing the air guitar to the theme music. I know I see y'all out there playing air guitar. Don't pretend like you wasn't. I know you were, but we know why you're here. We're going to talk some Saints. We're going to talk about the Eagles game last week. We're going to talk about some injuries, but then we're going to jump right into it, talk Saints, Falcons tomorrow, high noon, best rivalry in all the NFL. Argue with your mammy about it, not me. Then we're gonna get into the college, because as of right now, Tulane is playing UCF and beating breaks off of them. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about LSU, some of their injuries, their matchup tonight. Do a little spin around on Louisiana colleges, see who's matching up today, and we're gonna round things off with a little Pels talk. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost back at it. Basketball is almost back. Like they had the shortest break out of all the sports. We're gonna talk about some staff moves they made, training camp coming up, media day. We're gonna get into it. But first and foremost, we like to thank our lovely sponsors. We got to thank first of all, I'm going to need y'all to do me a solid and follow us here, IE Sports Radio. Follow us here on all these social media platforms right down there. We need to follow here on you can find the show wherever you get your lovely podcast, especially YouTube, especially YouTube. And of course, you can check me out on the X right here. And on my personal X page, right here, and of course, you can follow iesportsradio.com on the website. You can check out all the other shows, check out our schedules. And of course, wham! And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we got merch. Yeah, we do. I know you want to see it. We got the hats, the shirts, the beanies, the wristbands. You could be the flyest person in your car ride line. Go to iesportsradio.com/shop and check out the merch. Drop a couple coins there. And of course, you can check out the personal pages. My personal page right here. This should be popping up right there. And see, bling. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to our lovely sponsors. Planet Jerky, premium beef jerky, and of course, Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Please give them a follow, give them a look at who on their websites. Give their products a look-see. You might find something you like there. I know I have. And ladies and gentlemen, when we return, we will be talking, of course, the rivalry, Saints, Falcons. You know why you're here. But first, we're going to have to pay some bills, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to hear from those same lovely sponsors, and then we shall return on the Crescent City Connection, powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Yes, sir.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Crescent City Connection here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Special shout out to Planet Jerky Premium Beef Jerky. When I get that care package, I'll let y'all know how it goes down. And of course, Miss Cecilia B and Seal the Deal Wax Seals. You like being fancy? I know y'all like being fancy. Hey, we're Louisiana, man. We love stunting, and if we can one up somebody by giving some fancy invitations, man, we'll do it. And that's definitely who you want to holler at. Seal the Deal Wax Seals, ladies and gentlemen, sponsoring us here on the Crescent City Connection. And as we promised, ladies and gentlemen, Saints talk. Let's talk about it. But first, before we do that, we got to talk about the Eagles game. We fell 15-12 against the Eagles at home. We first drive of the game, man, it was not looking good. We lost Eric McCoy, center, right off rip. And it was we had to kick over Lucas Patrick to center, bringing Oli Udoh, offensive tackle, back up to take his spot, and the blocking didn't look good all game. Derek Carr was being rushed, pressure right up the middle. Shout out to Eagles defense for taking advantage of that. And the offense didn't look good. You know, it was a defensive game. Shout out to the defense. The defense kept us in it. We did what we needed to do. Jalen Hurts making turnovers, and we were capping, and we were, collecting them. He was putting church money on the ground. We were picking it up. He was throwing them picks, and we was catching them. We just couldn't, we were settling for threes. We couldn't get the sevens in there, and we was getting the threes when we needed to get them sevens. And the Eagles played it better. Like they kept. When we've seen that when we play these close games to where the opposing team can continue to run the ball, in the third and fourth quarter, they done wore the defense down. And that's what happened. Saquon Barkley went, and eventually, bam, we was holding him down the whole game. Third and fourth quarter, bam, he finally breaks one. And the same thing with even after Devontae Smith went out the game, the tight end, Dallas Goedert, man, he ate good against us, man. And he only had two real big splash plays. Everything else was kind of underneath short, and we was making them settle for field goals or nothing at all. Because, hey, if we would have been healthy, I know it's woulda, shoulda, coulda, and everything, but if we would have been healthy, that would have been a different game. Because once again, Nick Sirianni, the genius, was out here calling some whack plays, man. He was making some very questionable calls, just like he did in the last two games. But because of injury, we weren't able to capitalize on it. So hopefully it's been revealed that Eric McCoy has a groin injury. He'll be out for about 6 to 8 weeks. He had to have surgery. He'll be out for about a couple of weeks. So that means, and then come to find out, Cesar Ruiz also injured. And we don't know how long. He might miss like a game or two. So we had to replace him on the line. Got to replace McCoy. Then you got to replace the replacement for McCoy. So that's 3 different spots that have to be replaced on the line going against this week against the Falcons. Not good. On top of the fact, to add on to it, Demario Davis will be out with a hammy injury. And just found out that Chris Olave may be out. He's questionable. Right now he's questionable. They haven't ruled him out. He is questionable currently. Well, I guess we got to get into it. Might as well go ahead and get into it. Saints Falcons games. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can see, I got on the Akatsuki black and red Naruto do-rag, so you know I mean business. Yes, indeed. It's that time. Saints, Falcons, already, man. We already into it. A lot of people want to know whether they want to be over dramatical and want to know if the beef from last year into the season, you know what I'm talking about. If you know that Jameis audible at the goal line, touchdown, rubbed some people the wrong way. Had Saints fans going against each other, Falcons fans feeling some kind of way. Everybody was upset. It was crazy, man. So a lot of people wondering if that beef is going to carry over, even though it's like 2 new, almost totally different teams. They want to know if that beef is going to carry over. Man, come on now. It's the Saints and the Falcons. Beef from like 20 years ago is carrying over. Chill. Be for real. Stuff we done did 20 years ago is still carrying over. We still rag them for that Super Bowl stuff, man. And on top of that, the series is even. We done finally caught up, and the series is even now. The Saints win this game. We go up the game. They don't have that over us no more. Oh, man. The drama. But on top of that, man, things aren't looking that good for the Falcons either, because they have some injuries on their O-line as well. Their starting center, sent to IR. They got to replace him. And their starting left tackle is currently questionable. So they're going through it just like we are on that front line. Now, keys to the game. Alvin Kamara is questionable, but he most likely will be playing. And, of course, we get Taysom the Tank, the Falcon Killer, Taysom Hill. He will be back. He was sorely missed last game against the Eagles. We definitely could have used him. Taysom will be back for this game. So we definitely going to need him for that. And, man, we got to establish the run. But on the same hand, we're going to stop that run. They're probably going to kick it on defense. They're probably going to kick over Pete Warner to middle linebacker, and Willie Gay is going to take his spot, the wing linebacker. And that front line, they got to bother Kirk Cousins, because thing about it is, hey, Kirk Cousins ain't Jalen Hurts. Kirk Cousins is not even Dak Prescott. The threat to run the ball is not as strong there, man. So we got to bother Kirk. When he turned that ball over, we got to collect. And then we got to make him pay for it on the other end. So right off rip, this game has so many implications. Not only that, but then, like, everybody lost last week. Not everybody. Carolina actually won. Shout out to Big Red, Andy Dalton. Man, that's crazy. Buccaneers lost. Falcons lost. Saints lost. Carolina wins. Boy, this season right here has been wild so far. And it's only week 4. It's crazy. So whoever wins this game could take a stranglehold. Well, not the Falcons, but if the Saints win this game, we can definitely take a stranglehold. We'll be 2-0 in the division, and we'll be looking good going into this next game against KC. First things first. Got to win this one. Go up to Atlanta, mollywop them, put our foot up on the table, do that road defense thing, and get the dub. And that's where it's at, ladies and gentlemen. Man. It's gonna be kind of tough because the offense we got some injuries on the offense. We're gonna need the next receiver up. They got them. Oh boy, Simmons and Bates back there in the secondary. I don't know. They're gonna be protecting the deep ball, so we're gonna have to hit them underneath. Now, hopefully, Olave can go because he's gonna eat good. Because their secondary, their DB, their corners not that great. Safeties, real good. Corners, not so much. So Olave can eat real good. Hopefully he's not rolled out. Because the depth after him, kind of slim there. I don't know about the rookie, undrafted rookie, Mason Tipton. He was looking good in camp. Can he fill in for Olave? Is he ready to fill in for Olave? Oh man, that's crazy. To even think about right now. So, man, because they're gonna double Shaheed. They're gonna make sure they don't get beat deep. Oh, trust and believe they're gonna make sure they don't get beat deep by Shaheed. And that running game is gonna have to. Our running game is gonna have to be on point. And then the run defense with old Bijan Mustard, Bijan the Dijon, and Tyler Algiers. Yeah, those guys. We have to make sure we don't get ran on like the old Eagles did. So man, it's gonna be a tough one tomorrow. But high noon can't come fast enough, baby. I'm here for it. And that's all we got right now for Saints talk. Yeah, kind of not as long as it usually is, But it is what it is. Shout out to our friend here, Martin Sandoval. I know that guy. That's the homie. That's my tag team partner, brother from another mother. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to SoCal Saints. Check out his show, the IE Wrestling Show, that I've been kind of moonlighting, guest hosting for the last 2 weeks. It's been real fun. Shout out to the homie. Yeah. You know what it is. You already know what it is, homie. Yeah. So check out his show. It's been a lot of fun. We talk wrestling. We do the thing. And support the homie. It's part of the IE Wrestling fan. I mean, IE Sports fan, fandom. You're direct feed for all that sports. You know what I'm saying? Now, when we return, a little bit of the college. As of right now, Tulane's going to war. Well, not so much war. I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll explain a little bit later. We're going to talk Tigers, Tulane, Louisiana college sports. We're going in when we return after this little commercial break. Here on the Crescent City Connection on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Yes, sir.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS. The SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome to the 305, aka the Magic City, and this is Magic City Scoreboard. I'm your host JB, and right here we're gonna talk anything Miami. Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes, Marlins, Panthers, Inter Miami, and even high school football. So join me once a week right here on Magic City Scoreboard on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed to all that is sports.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, back here at the Crescent City Connection, your new home for Louisiana sports here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into a little college. You know what time it is. It's Saturday, baby. College football. Let's talk a little Tigers first and foremost. LSU. Last week, they got the dub. And this week, this evening, as a matter of fact, they'll be taking on South Alabama. But they're going to be missing a few people. Well, not a few people. They're going to be missing one in particular. This week, they suffered a, big disheartening injury, man. The big homie, preseason All-American linebacker Harold Perkins, out for the season. The ACL. That following the injury, the loss to John Emery, running back, to also an ACL. And Jacobian Guillory also, well, not all ACL, but with a ruptured Achilles. Now you're losing Perkins on the defensive side, as well as Guillory. Man, that's a huge blow because, man, Perkins was that dude, man. And this was supposed to be his blow-up year, you know. And the defense, every time it seems like the defense is getting there, something goes awry, something goes on, man. And like the last couple of weeks, it's been like the Tigers are like a second half team. They kind of coasting. UCLA, I don't know, man. They were looking smooth on the first two drives. UCLA was, especially that first touchdown to the tight end. And I was like, man, bro, what's up with UCLA, man? Or what's up with the Tigers defense? Man, it's crazy. Excuse me. But eventually, LSU settled down. Nussmeier was doing Nussmeier things. And they were able to pull off the dub. Now, this week, they're going against South Alabama. And South Alabama, you may think, oh, that's South Alabama. South Alabama has a fire offense. They're out here dropping bombs on dudes over here and running the ball real good. So you're gonna have to that defense is gonna have to show up. Minus Guillory, minus Perkins. That defense is gonna have to show up because it's gonna be one of those games where pew, 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 pew. They're out here firing. So, I mean, we're eventually going to have to stop getting off to these slow starts and put it all together, man, from start to finish. And I think this could be the game because next week we have the bye. Then we go right into it. Ole Miss. Whoo, boy. And they ain't holding back on people. Old Lane Kiffin, he ain't holding back on dudes. He gonna come out here, pew, 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 pew. If you think they're gonna be firing if South Alabama is going to be pew, 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 then old Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss is gonna be straight up. So we're gonna have to get it together, man. Get healed up, get a game plan together, and start playing LSU football. Bang. Now, currently, Tulane, Uptown, they're currently playing right now. So let's talk a little Tulane, the old Green Wave, taking on USF, South Florida. Now, at first I said it was a bit of a war. That's a little misleading. Because currently, UCF is getting the brakes beat off of them. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah. Right now, it's 45-10 Tulane. And it's all but pretty much over with 2 minutes left in 2 minutes left in the fourth. Darian Mensah is acting bad right now. If you've seen any of my tweets, who is T Fizzle, Crescent City _IE on the Twitter X, you've been seeing me tweet about this game because them boys uptown is acting bad right now. They is out here doing their thing. The defense is getting like sack fumbles. The offense has been running the rock. Mensah has been spinning the ball. That's all we've been asking is for somebody, one of these quarterbacks, to spin the ball. And Mensah said, hold my cup, brother. Hold my daiquiri, brother. And he's been spinning the rock. So shout out to Tulane. Uptown football, we back, baby. Let's go into the scoreboard from last week, though. Last week games. Let's see. Last week, Tulane went up 41-33 against the home team, the Cajuns, UL Cajuns. 41-33. That was a barn burner Donnybrook right there, man. Like I said, LSU defeated UCLA 34-17. La Tech in overtime lost to Tulsa. Heartbreaker, man. SLU, I don't know what to say about my old stomping grounds in Hammond, man. Whew, they ain't looking good for Southeastern, man. South Dakota State 41, SLU 0. Goose egg. Come on, Lions. What is y'all doing up there, bro? Shout out to Nickel State, man. I said this was going to be a game where somebody had to win because both teams were winless. Nickel State said, you ain't lying. Man, Nickel State 66. Mississippi Valley State 0. Nickel State goes on to be 1-3. Congratulations getting on the board, ladies and gentlemen, over there at Nickel State. Shout out to you. McNeese State, 44. Alcorn State, 14. Shout out to McNeese. Them Cowboys. The respectable Cowboys. Let's see. Northwestern. Okay, Northwestern. We're going to have a talk. Y'all got to stop embarrassing us like this, man. You got to start embarrassing the state like this, man. We talked about last week. We gave y'all grief last week about getting dog walked, and then you come back and you do this to Weber State. Weber State 39, Northwestern State 0. Have some self-respect, Northwestern State. Please have some self-respect. Y'all got a that man's got a family. I'm like, bro. I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm glad I ain't go to Northwestern State. Yeah, man, I'll be really upset. Oh man, somebody, hey, y'all gave it the old college try, ULM. UL Monroe, y'all gave it the old college try, but I was hoping y'all would be able to pull up an upset feelings or something, because Texas gave y'all, old Arch Manning gave y'all the business, man. Texas 51, ULM 3 points. Hey, it is what it is, man. But in lighter news, the Jags of Southern, a little SWAC action. They went 31, Prairie View 24. Shout out to the Jags. And of course, Grambling, dog walking, Jackson State 41, Jackson State 20. Shout out to the Grambling Tigers doing the thing. And a little preview of this week's games, this afternoon's games. We already talked about the Tigers taking on South Alabama. We talked about Tulane currently about to get the dub. Let's see who else is in action today. The Cajuns take on Wake Forest in 30 minutes, 2:30. Cajuns at Wake Forest. Northwestern State. Hey, Northwestern State, y'all better do something with y'all life. I'm going to clown y'all every week. Continue to clown y'all. If you can, hey, folks, if you came here for some Northwestern State sympathy, you picked the wrong show. I'm telling you now. I'm going to go in on them. Northwestern State at Southeast Missouri State, 3 p.m. If y'all don't do something with your life, if y'all go all the way to Missouri and lose, La Tech taking on FIU Florida International in Miami. Let's see if La Tech and Bulldogs can do some good work here. 5 p.m. UL Monroe looking to bounce back against Troy. 5 p.m. Southeastern, my Lions, I need y'all to do something with yourself, man. Southeastern taking on the football factory of Tarleton State. Don't look at me like that. I know some of y'all looking at me weird. Don't look at me like that. You heard what I said. What I said. The football factory of Tarleton State. Southeastern, if y'all don't take 1 foot and put that directly in Tarleton State's behinds, go up to Tarleton State. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, in the comments, if you know where Tarleton State, without Googling it, if you know the direction, can you get to Tarleton State? Can you get to Tarleton State? If you know if you can get, you know where Tarleton State, what state Tarleton State is in, Put it in the comments. I'll shout you out. Promise. I promise. Oh, moving right along. Prairie View, after taking L to Southern, goes against their rival Grambling. Let's see if Grambling can get 2 in a row by me over here. They're out here doing work, man. I see you, Grambling. I see y'all. They'll be playing in the Cotton. Then they're going to be playing in the Cotton Bowl, at the Cotton Bowl. Sorry, at the Cotton Bowl. That's at 6 p.m. Then we got, of course, South Alabama at LSU, 6:45 p.m. And round things out, McNeese State taking on the juggernaut of Weber State. Let's see if McNeese can do what Old Northwestern couldn't do and upset the juggernaut known as Weber State. Yes, sir. Tarleton State is in Texas. I should have disqualified you, Mr. Larry. You should have not been able to answer that question. Oh, somebody else to answer. Shout out to Larry. The human geography, the human globe there. Apparently, Tarleton State is in Texas. Who knew? See, we can have fun and be educational. Fun and education. We're a well-rounded show here in the Crescent City Connection. You get your fun, you get your facts. You learn something. We just learned something today. Here in the comments. I love to see it. And as we said, hopefully McNeese State can do something that old Northwestern State couldn't do. And get a dub on old Weber State. The juggernaut of Weber State. And today, a couple teams have byes. Nicholls State, they'll be facing the Jags next week when they return. Oh yeah. I almost forgot. Very important. Tulane. Last week we talked Tulane to the Pac-12. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Well, I guess they must have saw the show because they pretty much answered that question mark, question mark, question mark with an emphatic Pac-12 thank you, but no thank you. We have to humbly decline your invitation. Wow. How you get shot down by 3 American Conference teams? That happened. Congratulations, Pac-12. That actually happened. Memphis, USF, who's currently getting the brakes beat off them by Tulane, and University of Texas San Antonio. They all declined and will be staying with the AAC despite the Pac-12's offer. But, hey, Gonzaga will be joining. Hey, see? There's a bright spot in all of this. Pac-12, congratulations. You get Gonzaga. They don't have a football team, but they got a hell of a basketball team. See? There's a bright spot. You lose 4, you gain 1. Hey. See? We're a happy show here. And shout out there, Pac-12. You keep on going. You keep that head up. You're gonna be a power team, a power conference once again. You just keep your head up. All you gotta do is believe. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all it for college. When we return, we're going to round things out with a little Pels talk. Ladies and gentlemen, basketball is almost here again. We're about a week away from media day and training camp. Boy, that moved quick. I think the Olympics might have had something to do with it. When we return, we have Pell's News because they made some moves. Not huge moves, but you'll see when you come back. Just come back. You hear yeah. Go to the bathroom, sit in front of the control, do what you gotta do, and come back. Because we got Pell's News. Here on the Crescent City Connection. Your direct feed for all that is sports on IE Sports Radio. Yes, sir.
Hey, Cleveland and Columbus sports fans. This is Jen B, host of the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. If you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in live to the Show of the Land on Tuesdays, where we will cover the Cleveland Browns, Cavs, Guardians, and Monsters. We will also talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets, Crew, Fury, and of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll also cover other colleges in the area like Akron, Kent State, Cleveland State, Mount Union, John Carroll, Baldwin Wallace, Youngstown State, among others. So like I said, if you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in Tuesdays to the Show of the Land with Jen B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Crescent City Connection, here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Shout out to Miss Jen B, host / producer extraordinaire in the Show the Land, and of course, Chi-Town Weekly, Shark Toe, over there with Mr. Adam. And let's get to a little Pels talk. Man, basketball is almost here again, yo. It's almost like how you're enjoying the summer and vacation, and all of a sudden school rolls up on you and stuff, and you're like, man, it's almost school time again, back to school shopping. That's how it is with basketball. I think the Olympics might have had something to do with it. It just felt like a basketball, we just had the championship. And all of a sudden, bam, basketball's here again. But I'm not complaining because the Pels made some moves. We look a little different. We lost some key players. Shout out to Larry Nance and Najee Marshall and Dyson Dayosan. Shout out to those guys. But well, we brought in DeJounte Murray. And we made a couple of other moves there, brought in some guys for training camp. Last week we talked about Elfrid Payton, hometown homie, Elfrid Payton, and G League standout Isaiah Brockington came in or was signed for some training camp. Was signed for the Pels training camp. But we also signed Keon Brooks Jr. and guard Jalen Crutcher. Jalen Crutcher's name may be familiar because the 6'2", 170-pound guard appeared in 33 games last season with the Pelicans G League affiliate, the Birmingham Squadron, in which he averaged 15.8 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 5.8 assists in 34 and a half minutes per game. And the University of Dayton product has appeared in over 136 games across 3 G League seasons. He's a seasoned player, and he's looking to perhaps make the squad. And Brooks Jr., 6'7", 210 forward, most recently averaged 21.1 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 1.4 assists. En route to first team All Pac-12 honors during the 2023-2024 season at the University of Washington. Shout out to them Huskies. Brooks played on the Pelicans 2024 Summer League team, averaging 9.8 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 21.4 minutes per game. So we got a nice little run during the Summer League. We didn't look too good. We didn't get to have a lot of W's, but a lot of individual players did look good. And he was one of them, and they invited him to come in here, training camp, and see what he looks like. Give him a little run there. And, man, the Pelicans made some coaching moves. Ooh. The Pelicans hired former Pistons center Greg Monroe and veteran Jody Meeks to the coaching staff. Monroe, a former Helen Cox Cougar, my alma mater, my middle school. Former Helen Cox Cougar, former Georgetown Hoya, was drafted in the first round of the 2010 draft by the Detroit Pistons. And after announcing his retirement, the Pelicans hired Monroe and to help with player development. Now, what that means is he'll be coming in to help out with those centers we got, because they is a green as grass. We got Daniel Tice, who is a veteran, but he's not exactly a starter. So he's going to be working with Carlo Makovich, who spent most of his time overseas, because we drafted him a couple of years back. We kind of stashed him. And of course, Yves Missi, we just drafted this year, but he's only been playing like a handful of years total. Like I have more episodes than he's had years playing basketball. Just put it that way. So he's going to be very, very raw, but he has all those tools. He just needs the coaching. And there comes in Mr. Monroe. I mean, we wish we could have had Mr. Monroe on the roster, you know, but it is what it is. So hopefully Greg can come in and work with Carlo and Yves and kind of shape and mold them to the starting caliber center that we need in this roster, because that's the glaring hole. Everything else is filled. That's the glaring hole we have. And Mr. Meeks, not Mr. Meese's, but Mr. Meeks, he'll be coming in as an assistant coach. Mr. Meeks split his time in the league on 7 different NBA teams before officially announcing his retirement from professional basketball 2 years ago. And he spent a little stint in the Big 3 league, but he most recently was on the Pelicans G League coaching staff at the Squadron. And he was starting there the 2022-2023 season, and they decided to bring him up, to give him a look-see on the coaching staff. They liked what they saw from his stint with the Squadron, coaching with the Squadron, and they're bringing him up to the main show. So we'll see what kind of impact he has. On top of that, Media Day is creeping up. Is basically 1 week away from Media Day, and we have a lot of fun with Media Day. And since this is my first show with covering Media Day, we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna post a lot of stuff on Twitter X, the Facebook page, group page, wherever you find me. Hey, keep a lookout. I'm gonna post a lot of stuff. But Bleacher Report most recently did an article, as they do, with the top 5 coaching hot seats. So you can pretty much figure where I'm going with this. Number 1 was Quinn Snyder of the Atlanta Hawks. 2, Billy Donovan, Chicago Bulls. Number 3, Willie Green, New Orleans Pelicans. Number 4, Chauncey Billups, Portland Trailblazers. And Will Hardy of the Utah Jazz. Utah, they really don't know whether they want to be a contender or whether they want to blow the team up and sell it for parts. I don't know if Danny Ainge knows what he wants to do. Portland Trailblazers, they have a very young team. I think I'd give Chauncey Billups a little bit more time because they have a very young team, a very talented team. That team might be a problem in a year or two. Billy Donovan, Chicago Bulls, I don't know what they're doing over there, man. That's a huge question mark. We have to ask the homie, the Chi-Town Weekly, about that one, man. Mr. Adam, if you're listening, bro, what's going on in Chicago? Holla at your boy. And Quinn Snyder in Atlanta, are they blowing that team up? Are they not blowing that team up? Are they reconfiguring? What are they doing? But as for us, Willie, we understand you've had some injuries and stuff. We understand this is your first gig, but you got to evolve, homie. You got to get better. You can't keep doing the same thing. You and James Borrego got to get there, get that mesh that offense and that defense, figure out what you're going to do with the pieces around Zion, this BI situation, and because we're already there. Like every year you keep getting better. We keep increasing the win total every year. Bro, you want to say your job? We got to get in the playoffs and we got to do some dirt. We got to do some damage. And that's it, basically. You're on the hot seat, homie. You're on the hot seat. Bleacher Report said so. Bleacher Report said so. It must be true. And that's it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank you for hanging out with me here on the Crescent City Connection. Your new home for Louisiana sports. You could be anywhere in the world, but you were here with me. Spending your Saturday, your leisure time, here hanging with the homie P5. I'm the host. You're the Crescent City Connection. And we connect. We connected. You got a little education. You had some funsies and laughs. You got some sports. You got a little bit of everything today. We try to remain being a well-rounded show around these parts. And of course, I'll be remiss if I didn't throw out the shout-outs to our sponsors to help keep the heat and the lights on. Planet Jerky, premium beef jerky. When I get that care package, ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you know how that goes. And of course, shout out to Cecilia B and Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Check those two sponsors out. Give them a look-see. Tell me what you think. And of course, as always, check us out on all major social media platforms, especially the Facebook, the X, and all the other ones. Hey, is MySpace still a thing? Let me know. TikTok. Follow us on the Facebook, the TikTok, at IE Sports Radio. Follow us on all the places to get your lovely podcast. And of course, follow me, Crescent City _IE. And who is T Fizzle on the X? X gonna give it to you. And of course, IESportsRadio.com is where you will find me and all the other wonderful shows. We talk sports. Hey, we're growing, baby. We're taking over. And we want you to join and hang out for the ride. It's been fun. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, enjoy your Saturday. Peace, love, and God bless. Thank you, Louisiana. We love you. Shout out here. And enjoy the outro, baby. I know you like playing the air guitar. Have fun, ladies and gentlemen. Be good at it. You have a nice one.